What is going on, brothers and sisters? Welcome to Nobody the Turnaround. In this little sub series here, we're going to talk about every single job that you're going to encounter while you play through the main story mode, what makes them so great, what makes them terrible, and also what items you need to use in order to maximize your profits. So first and foremost, we'll start with the basic job. We're going to talk about the brick mover over at the construction site. When you first start your story mode, you're going to have to go through the job posting over here and come over here until you talk to our buddy, Mr. Cow, who will be usually standing right here the first time you meet him in a white hard hat. Once you talk to him, you can come here without having to use the job board. But until then, utilize the job board and take a 10% hit. Come over to the tool station, buy yourself a hard hat. You can see it'll protect you from job accidents as a brick mover. What does that mean? That means you have a 100% chance to not be injured while working at this job, because if you look here, brick mover, it says notes, you may get injured. Being injured will slow you down to a movement speed of 80%, as well as cost you 30 yuan to repair. So what you're going to do, we're going to come over here. Our money is going to be a little different because my proficiency is a bit higher, but we're going to come in, say, hi, I'm the new brick mover, and talk about manual mode. You can see at a proficiency of 50, which only takes a few tries of doing this, not a lot, you'll have a base wage of 100, and right now my manual bonus is 41. To set that bonus, you play manual mode. When you get the highest you think you can do auto from there on, because your bonus will stay the same. You'll always get it. Now, look here. You see that says a 2, right? I know without moving that because this says 2, it's automatically going to be this brick here. So let's talk about the bricks. We got these 2-hole cinder blocks that you pick up 2 at a time. You get the multi-hole that's 10 at a time. And you get the smooth bricks that are 20 at a time. So these can be picked up in full stacks and be delivered in either full stacks like this here, 2, or in a half stack over here in 1. If you deliver a half stack, you still have the other one in your hand. So make sure you take that into consideration. I always suggest when you're going into this, do the ones that just make you the most money. Doing multiple trips of these onesies here, they only net you $3 a piece. Whereas that one right there, that was 7. That was a lot better. Even though this is requiring another half stack here, I'll usually just dump them in another pallet so I can immediately just run down and start getting towards my next product line. And then if I have to do a half stack over here, we'll just run them back. To empty them out of your hand, all you do is run back to the pile you put them in or pulled them from and put them back in there. I'll show you right here. So this is what you're going to do in order to get yourself a good manual bonus. I suggest doing this as often as possible when you think you can get more, which is when you raise your toughness level, because every time you raise your toughness level, your movement speed while laden, which means while you have bricks in your hand, will increase. So you can see it is a 3% increase, but it does make a difference because you will notice you will have quite a few close calls as you do this job. So increase your toughness while you do this job will increase your proficiency and eventually increase the amount of money you will make. We'll close out of this. You can see we leveled up here. We also get toughness XP. So it's a great way to get your toughness up as well as working out in the park on the side. And the best thing about this job, it's only a 5-hour job, so you can do this job twice in one day to reap the benefits. You'll put in 10 hours worth of work, or you can do a half day of it, and what I call a half day is just doing it once and just putting in the 5 hours. Some of the best perks to this job in particular is that it requires no base hygiene nor any base cleanliness. So what do we mean by that? You have a stink meter and you also have a cleanliness meter for your actual clothes. You can see these clothes I'm wearing here are at a 50. If I switch to the anime shirt, I'm now at 100. Jobs eventually will require you to have a basic hygiene and a basic shirt cleanliness. The brick mover does not. So it goes very well in the beginning of the game because before you level yourself up and become a a nobody, you don't care about your own hygiene either. So you can stay absolutely filthy and smelly, still gather up some basic chump change to start your new story mode off before you move into a nobody. Because once you become a nobody, you care about proper hygiene, which means you care about it to the effect that it gives your cool buffs or debuffs. You can see I have a +2 cool feet there. And if I put that trashy shirt back on, I am soiled. So I have a -1. Those debuffs and buff modifiers to your cool come in once you become a nobody. So if you don't press this button and hit upgrade or whatever like this, unlock, if you don't hit it, you're not going to get a negative debuff to your cool for being stinky nor dirty. So use that to your advantage with this basic job to start your story mode off to get yourself some good cash before you move on to the next job, which we'll talk about in the next episode. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button down below, and I hope the rest of your day is not too shabby.